On January 7th, 1943, at exactly 10:47 p.m., Nikola Tesla died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. He was 86 years old, broke, forgotten by a world that had moved on without him. But within 8 hours of his death, something extraordinary happened. Federal agents stormed his room, sealed the doors, and confiscated 80 trunks containing decades of research, inventions, and documents that Tesla had guarded as his most precious treasure. Today, more than 80 years later, those documents remain classified as state secrets. Why? What did Nikola Tesla discover that was too dangerous for humanity to know? You're about to discover truths that have been buried for 8 decades. I'm going to show you what was in those trunks. I'm going to reveal the inventions that could have changed the world forever. And I'm going to explain exactly why the American government keeps all of this locked in top-secret vaults. Get ready, because what you're about to hear will destroy everything they taught you about energy, technology, and human progress. But before we dive into these explosive secrets, if you want to discover more hidden truths they don't want you to know, subscribe to this channel right now and hit that notification bell, because what you're about to hear could disappear from the internet at any moment. Let's go. Nikola Tesla wasn't just any scientist. He was a visionary who saw decades ahead of his time. While Thomas Edison was betting on direct current that only worked over short distances, Tesla invented alternating current that powers the entire world to this day. He created the electric motor, the radio, X-rays, remote control, fluorescent lamps, more than 300 patents in his name. But these known inventions are just the surface. The truly revolutionary discoveries, the ones that could have freed humanity from the control of energy corporations, those remained hidden. And when Tesla died, the American government had only a few hours to act before these secrets fell into the wrong hands, or the right hands, depending on your perspective. Tesla spent his final years living practically destitute. He stayed for free in hotels whose bills were paid by wealthy friends who admired his genius. He fed pigeons in the park. He was ridiculed by the press as a madman obsessed with numbers and impossible theories. But Tesla knew something nobody else knew. He had completed his most important research: free energy, wireless transmission of electricity, weapons that could defend entire nations, communication with other dimensions or even other planets. And all of this was documented, recorded, stored in those 80 trunks he kept locked in the hotel safe. This is where the story gets disturbing. Tesla died around 10:47 p.m. The housekeeper found the body the next morning around 10:30 a.m. She notified the hotel notified the authorities, and then something strange happened. Before the New York police even arrived, before the family was notified, before any standard natural death procedures, federal agents were already on site. The FBI, the Office of Alien Property Custodian, military engineers, all arrived extraordinarily fast, as if they were waiting, as if they knew Tesla was about to die. John G. Trump, a professor at MIT and uncle of future President Donald Trump, was designated by the government to analyze Tesla's documents. Officially, his mission was to determine if there was anything of military or scientific value in those papers. He had complete access. He spent days examining every page, every diagram, every note. And then,
On January 10, 1943, John G. Trump delivered his official report. According to this document, which is available in FBI archives to this day, there was nothing of significant value to the country in Tesla's papers. Nothing important, just the ramblings of a retired inventor, documents without practical value. But there's a problem with this official story. If there really was nothing important, why did the government confiscate everything? Why did they take 80 trunks weighing more than 2 tons? Why did they classify thousands of pages as top secret? Why, to this day, in 2024, does the FBI keep much of these documents inaccessible to the public? And why, in 1952, 9 years after Tesla's death, did the United States Supreme Court officially recognize that Tesla, not Marconi, was the true inventor of the radio? Curiously, this decision came right after Marconi's patents expired and telecommunication corporations had nothing left to lose. And here it gets even stranger. Several people claim that Tesla's documents were removed from the room before the official FBI arrival. Tesla's niece, a woman named Sava Kosanovich, tried to enter the room a few hours after her uncle's death. She was stopped. The room was sealed. But when she finally got access days later, she swore that several notebooks Tesla always kept with him had disappeared. Tesla himself, in his final years, constantly spoke about his 3 last red notebooks where he supposedly recorded his most dangerous discoveries. Those notebooks were never found. Or at least, that's what they want us to believe. Let me tell you something even more disturbing. The government didn't just confiscate Tesla's papers from the hotel. They raided his laboratory. They seized everything from his safe deposit boxes. They even took documents from his friends and associates. It was a coordinated operation, military precision, as if they had a list of exactly what they were looking for.
And remember, this was January 1943, the height of World War II. The Battle of Stalingrad was still raging. The Nazis were knocking on the door of world domination. If Tesla really had invented something revolutionary, something that could change the course of the war, the government needed it immediately. But let's talk about what Tesla claimed to have invented, because this is where it gets really interesting. In his final years, Tesla spoke constantly about 4 revolutionary inventions. The first was what he called Teleforce, a particle beam weapon capable of shooting down 10,000 enemy aircraft at a distance of 250 miles. The press called it the Death Ray. Tesla described it as a device that could project particles at tremendous energy through free air, powerful enough to bring down fleets of aircraft or cause armies to drop dead in their tracks. He claimed the beam would be thinner than a hair, but could transmit thousands of horsepower. Think about what this means. We're talking about a weapon that could have ended World War II instantly, a weapon that could have prevented the nuclear arms race, a weapon that could have changed the entire trajectory of human history. And Tesla said he had built it, not just designed it, built it. He said at a press conference in 1937, "But it is not an experiment. I have built, demonstrated, and used it." Those were his exact words. So where is it? Where's the prototype? Where are the plans? The official story is that when government scientists examined what Tesla claimed was his death ray prototype, they found only an old multi-decade resistance box, a common electrical measuring tool worth maybe $50. They opened the vault, and that's all that was there. Case closed. Tesla was delusional. There never was a death ray. But wait a second.
If Tesla was just a crazy old man with delusions, why did the Soviet Union pay him $25,000 in 1935 for detailed plans of this supposedly imaginary weapon? That's about $550,000 in today's money. Why would the Soviets pay $500,000 for the ravings of a madman? And here's something they don't tell you in history books. In the 1950s and 1960s, during the height of the Cold War, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev bragged about a new and fantastic weapon in the hatching stage. In 1977, a detailed exposé in Aviation Week and Space Technology included leaked diagrams of a Soviet particle beam weapon that looked disturbingly similar to unpublished work from Tesla. American officials were left wondering if the Soviets were on the brink of a superweapon, which ultimately led to Ronald Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative program, popularly known as Star Wars. Think about that. The entire Star Wars program, billions of dollars in defense spending, orbiting satellites with particle beam weapons, all of it potentially traced back to Tesla's confiscated documents. But I thought there was nothing of value in those papers. I thought John G. Trump said it was all speculative and philosophical. So which is it? Were Tesla's ideas worthless nonsense, or were they valuable enough to spark a multi-billion-dollar arms race that lasted decades? And the death ray wasn't even Tesla's most revolutionary invention. Let me tell you about free energy. Tesla believed he had discovered a way to tap into the Earth's ionosphere and extract unlimited electrical energy. Not solar power, not wind power, not nuclear power. Something completely different. In 1931, Tesla announced to reporters that he was on the verge of discovering an entirely new source of energy from an entirely new and unsuspected source. He said it would provide power to the entire planet wirelessly, at virtually no cost. Imagine that for a second. No power plants, no transmission lines, no electric bills. Free, unlimited energy for everyone on Earth. Now ask yourself a simple question. Who would that threaten? Who has the most to lose if free energy becomes reality? Oil companies, coal companies, electric utilities, energy corporations that make trillions of dollars controlling the world's power supply. These are the most powerful corporations on the planet. They fund politicians, they influence governments, they control economies. Do you really think they would just sit back and let some inventor give away their entire business model for free? Here's what we know for certain. Tesla built a massive tower at Wardenclyffe, Long Island, specifically designed to transmit electrical power wirelessly across vast distances. His financial backer was J.P. Morgan, one of the richest men in America. But when Morgan realized Tesla's system would provide free energy that couldn't be metered and sold, he cut off all funding. The project died. The tower was eventually demolished, and Tesla spent the rest of his life trying unsuccessfully to get funding for his free energy research. Every door was closed to him. Every investor turned him down. The man who had revolutionized the modern world couldn't get $50,000 to continue his work. Coincidence? Or was there a coordinated effort to make sure Tesla's free energy technology never saw the light of day? And when Tesla died, having all that research in his notebooks, don't you think the government and the energy corporations wanted to make absolutely sure nobody else would ever build it? This is why those 80 trunks disappeared so quickly. This is why John G. Trump, the MIT engineer, was brought in to evaluate them, not to see if there was anything valuable,
but to identify and secure anything that threatened existing power structures. But wait, there's more, and this is going to blow your mind. Among Tesla's confiscated papers were detailed notes about what he called mechanical earth resonance. Tesla claimed that by creating vibrations at specific frequencies, he could trigger earthquakes anywhere on the planet. He said he accidentally discovered this while experimenting in his New York laboratory. The entire building started shaking. Neighbors' windows shuttered. People ran into the streets thinking it was an earthquake. Tesla had to destroy his device with a sledgehammer to stop the vibrations before the whole building collapsed. Now imagine the military applications of a weapon that could trigger earthquakes on command. You could destroy enemy cities without dropping a single bomb. No radiation, no fallout, just a catastrophic natural disaster that looks completely random. Tesla had claimed during his lifetime that his work could prevent wars by making nations impenetrable to attack. Or, conversely, the same technologies could be weaponized in devastating ways. Is it any wonder the government grabbed every scrap of paper related to this research the moment Tesla died? And if you think this sounds too far-fetched, let me remind you of something. The United States government has officially declassified documents proving they experimented with weather control and earthquake weapons during the Cold War. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is documented historical fact. The military-industrial complex absolutely has been researching geophysical weapons. Where do you think they got the initial ideas? Where do you think they found the theoretical framework? That's right, Tesla's confiscated documents. Let me paint you the complete picture of what happened in January 1943. Tesla dies. Within hours, federal agents are swarming his hotel room, his laboratory, his storage facilities. They take everything, 2 truckloads of materials. They bring in John G. Trump to evaluate the documents. Trump spends days analyzing the papers and reports that Tesla's work was primarily of a speculative, philosophical, and promotional character, without new sound workable principles. But here's the interesting part. At the exact same time Trump is writing this dismissive report, copies of Tesla's documents are being sent to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. There, according to declassified documents, a team of military scientists led by Brigadier General L.C. Craigie reaches a very different conclusion. They say there's really something to this. The particle beam weapon is real. So we have 2 government evaluations happening simultaneously. One, made public, says Tesla's work is worthless. The other, kept classified for decades, says the technology is viable and should be developed. Which report do you think was the truth? And which one was the cover story? Here's where it gets really dark. According to declassified FBI documents, when Tesla's nephew Sava Kosanovich tried to claim his uncle's effects, the FBI considered arresting him for possible espionage, fearing he might sell Tesla's secrets to enemy powers. They surveilled him. They monitored his every move. This wasn't about protecting the inheritance rights of a grieving relative. It was about national security. The government was terrified that Tesla's technology would fall into the wrong hands. Or maybe they were terrified it would fall into the right hands, the hands of people who would actually build it and give it to humanity. In 1952, after years of legal battles, Kosanovich finally won the right to his uncle's estate. The Tesla materials were shipped to Belgrade, Serbia, where they now reside in the Nikola Tesla Museum. But while the FBI originally recorded 80 trunks among Tesla's effects, only 60 arrived in Belgrade. 20 trunks simply vanished, disappeared, gone. Where did they go? What was in them? Why were those specific trunks kept back? We'll probably never know, because those trunks contain the secrets they absolutely cannot let us discover. But it gets worse. In the decades since Tesla's death, researchers and Tesla enthusiasts have repeatedly filed Freedom of Information Act requests for the government to release all Tesla-related documents. After years of public pressure, the FBI finally declassified about 250 pages in 2016. They released another batch in 2018. Sounds great, right? Transparency at last. Except here's the problem. Those 250 pages are heavily redacted, entire paragraphs blacked out, key technical details removed, document after document with the notation restricted for reasons of national security. This is 2024. Tesla died 81 years ago. World War II ended 79 years ago. The Cold War ended 31 years ago. What possible national security reason could there be to keep this information secret? Unless, of course, the information is still sensitive, still relevant, still dangerous to certain interests. Think about it. If Tesla's free energy technology actually works, and the government admitted it, what would happen? Energy corporations would collapse overnight. Oil would become worthless. The entire global economy would have to restructure. Trillions of dollars in assets would evaporate. The most powerful corporations and the wealthiest families in the world would lose their primary source of power and control. Do you really think they're going to let that happen? Do you really think they're going to release documents that would destroy their empires?
Let me tell you about Project Nick. In the years following World War II, the U.S. military launched a top-secret operation codenamed Project Nick to build real particle beam weapons based on copies of Tesla's documents that went to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. No details were ever officially released. The project supposedly failed. Or maybe it succeeded, and they don't want us to know. Either way, Project Nick proves that the military absolutely did not think Tesla's work was worthless speculation. They spent millions of dollars and years of research trying to build his weapons. You don't do that for the notebooks of a crazy old man. And here's something that should terrify you. Remember those 3 red notebooks Tesla constantly talked about in his final years? The ones that contained his most dangerous discoveries? Those notebooks have never been found. Not in the confiscated trunks, not in the materials sent to Belgrade, not anywhere. Tesla's associates confirmed he had them. He showed them to people. He wrote in them regularly. And then, after his death, they vanished, completely disappeared from existence. What was in those notebooks? What did Tesla discover that was so dangerous it had to be erased from history entirely? I'll tell you what I think was in those notebooks. I think Tesla had figured out how to tap into zero-point energy, quantum vacuum energy, the infinite sea of virtual particles that quantum physics tells us exists all around us. Conventional physics says this energy can't be extracted and used. But what if Tesla found a way? What if he discovered the key to unlimited clean energy that would make every power plant on Earth obsolete? That would explain everything. Why the notebooks disappeared, why the government maintains such tight secrecy, why energy corporations would do anything to keep this technology suppressed. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Let me give you something you can verify yourself. Go to the FBI's official website. Look up their vault section. Search for Nikola Tesla. They've posted some of the declassified documents. Read them yourself. Look at what's redacted. Look at the dates. Look at who was involved. Then ask yourself why, after 80 decades, they're still hiding information. What are they so afraid of us discovering? And here's something else you can check. Look up the patents Tesla filed in his final years. Look at the technical descriptions. This isn't mysticism or pseudoscience. This is detailed engineering from one of the greatest inventors in human history. These patents describe specific devices with specific functions. They describe new principles of physics. They describe technologies we still don't fully understand today. And when Tesla died, all his notes explaining these patents were confiscated and classified. Why? What don't they want us to understand? I'll tell you what I think was in those notebooks. I think Tesla had figured out how to tap into zero-point energy, quantum vacuum energy, the infinite sea of virtual particles that quantum physics tells us exists all around us. Conventional physics says this energy can't be extracted and used. But what if Tesla found a way? What if he discovered the key to unlimited clean energy that would make every power plant on Earth obsolete? That would explain everything. Why the notebooks disappeared, why the government maintains such tight secrecy, why energy corporations would do anything to keep this technology suppressed. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let me give you something you can verify yourself. Go to the FBI's official website. Look up their vault section. Search for Nikola Tesla. They've posted some of the declassified documents. Read them yourself. Look at what's redacted. Look at the dates. Look at who was involved. Then ask yourself why, after 80 decades, they're still hiding information. What are they so afraid of us discovering? And here's something else you can check. Look up the patents Tesla filed in his final years. Look at the technical descriptions. This isn't mysticism or pseudoscience. This is detailed engineering from one of the greatest inventors in human history. These patents describe specific devices with specific functions. They describe new principles of physics. They describe technologies we still don't fully understand today. And when Tesla died, all his notes explaining these patents were confiscated and classified. Why? What don't they want us to understand? I'll tell you what I think was in those notebooks. I think Tesla had figured out how to tap into zero-point energy, quantum vacuum energy, the infinite sea of virtual particles that quantum physics tells us exists all around us. Conventional physics says this energy can't be extracted and used. But what if Tesla found a way? What if he discovered the key to unlimited clean energy that would make every power plant on Earth obsolete? That would explain everything. Why the notebooks disappeared, why the government maintains such tight secrecy, why energy corporations would do anything to keep this technology suppressed. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let me give you something you can verify yourself. Go to the FBI's official website. Look up their vault section. Search for Nikola Tesla. They've posted some of the declassified documents. Read them yourself. Look at what's redacted. Look at the dates. Look at who was involved. Then ask yourself why, after 80 decades, they're still hiding information. What are they so afraid of us discovering? And here's something else you can check. Look up the patents Tesla filed in his final years. Look at the technical descriptions. This isn't mysticism or pseudoscience. This is detailed engineering from one of the greatest inventors in human history. These patents describe specific devices with specific functions. They describe new principles of physics. They describe technologies we still don't fully understand today. And when Tesla died, all his notes explaining these patents were confiscated and classified. Why? What don't they want us to understand? I'll tell you what I think was in those notebooks. I think Tesla had figured out how to tap into zero-point energy, quantum vacuum energy, the infinite sea of virtual particles that quantum physics tells us exists all around us. Conventional physics says this energy can't be extracted and used. But what if Tesla found a way? What if he discovered the key to unlimited clean energy that would make every power plant on Earth obsolete? That would explain everything. Why the notebooks disappeared. Why the government maintains such tight secrecy. Why energy corporations would do anything to keep this technology suppressed. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let me give you something you can verify yourself. Go to the FBI's official website. Look up their vault section. Search for Nikola Tesla. They've posted some of the declassified documents. Read them yourself. Look at what's redacted. Look at the dates. Look at who was involved. Then ask yourself why, after 80 decades, they're still hiding information. What are they so afraid of us discovering? And here's something else you can check. Look up the patents Tesla filed in his final years. Look at the technical descriptions. This isn't mysticism or pseudoscience. This is detailed engineering from one of the greatest inventors in human history. These patents describe specific devices with specific functions. They describe new principles of physics. They describe technologies we still don't fully understand today. And when Tesla died, all his notes explaining these patents were confiscated and classified. Why? What don't they want us to understand? I'll tell you what I think was in those notebooks. I think Tesla had figured out how to tap into zero-point energy, quantum vacuum energy.
Morde, Selbstmorde, Unfälle, die einen den Glauben an die Menschheit verlieren lassen. Aber nichts hat mich so verstört wie Schloss Wolfsheim. Es gibt Dinge, die sich der rationalen Erklärung entziehen, und ich bin nicht mehr sicher, ob wir überhaupt verstehen wollen, was dort geschehen ist. Vielleicht ist es besser, manche Türen geschlossen zu lassen. Das Schloss wurde 1920 vom Staat beschlagnahmt und sollte als Museum dienen, doch die Pläne wurden nie umgesetzt. Die Dorfbewohner weigerten sich in der Nähe zu arbeiten und Besucher berichteten von unerklärlichen Phänomenen. Ein Ingenieur, der 1921 das Gebäude auf strukturelle Schäden untersuchen sollte, verließ nach 2 Tagen seinen Posten und kehrte nie zurück. In seinem hastigen Abschlussbericht notierte er nur: Dieses Gebäude ist nicht sicher, nicht wegen der Mauern. In den folgenden Jahrzehnten wurde Schloss Wolfsheim zum Gegenstand zahlreicher Spekulationen und Legenden. In den 1930er Jahren interessierten sich okkulte Gruppen für das Gebäude und es gab Versuche, dort Seancen abzuhalten, die jedoch von den Behörden unterbunden wurden. Während des Zweiten Weltkriegs diente das Schloss kurzzeitig als Lagerhaus für beschlagnahmte Kunstwerke, wurde aber 1943 nach Berichten über Störungen unter dem Wachpersonal wieder aufgegeben. Nach dem Krieg verfiel das Gebäude zusehends. Heute ist Schloss Wolfsheim eine Ruine. Die Dächer sind eingestürzt, die Fenster zerbrochen und Vegetation überwuchert die einst so stolzen Mauern. Der große Saal, in dem jene letzte Mahlzeit serviert wurde, ist dem Wetter ausgesetzt, und der Tisch, auf dem die Kerzen brannten, ist längst verrottet. Dennoch berichten Menschen, die sich in die Nähe wagen, Wanderer, Fotografen, gelegentlich Geschichtsstudenten, von einer Atmosphäre, die sich nicht mit bloßem Verfall erklären lässt. Eine Schwere, ein Gefühl, beobachtet zu werden. Eine Kälte, die tiefer geht als die winterliche Luft. Im Jahr 2003 unternahm ein Team von Historikern der Ludwig-Maximilians-Universität München einen erneuten Versuch, das Rätsel zu lösen. Sie hatten Zugang zu Archiven erhalten, die seit den 1920er Jahren verschlossen waren, darunter die vollständigen Tagebücher der Familie und die privaten Korrespondenzen Baron Maximilians mit verschiedenen Personen in den Monaten vor dem Verschwinden. Dr. Claudia Hofmann, Leiterin des Projekts, veröffentlichte 2007 eine umfassende Studie mit dem Titel »Schatten über Wolfsheim – eine historisch-psychologische Analyse des Verschwindens der Familie von Rottenburg«. In ihrer Arbeit argumentiert sie, dass Baron Maximilian unter schweren posttraumatischen Belastungsstörungen litt, kombiniert mit einer wahnhaften Fixierung auf die Schuldgeschichte seiner Familie. Sie vermutet, dass er in einem Zustand völliger psychotischer Dekompensation seine Familie von einer gemeinsamen rituellen Handlung überzeugte, möglicherweise einem kollektiven Suizid oder einer Flucht, die tragisch endete. Doch selbst Dr. Hofmanns gründliche Arbeit lässt Fragen offen. Wie erklären sich die Berichte von Dorfbewohnern über seltsame Lichter im Schloss in den Nächten nach dem Verschwinden? Warum wurden trotz ausgedehnter Suchaktionen, die Hunderte von Hektar Wald und Dutzende Höhlen einschließen, niemals Überreste gefunden? Und was ist mit den Berichten von Menschen, die das Schloss in den folgenden Jahren besuchten und von Stimmen, Erscheinungen und unerklärlichen Ereignissen sprachen? Ein besonders verstörendes Detail findet sich in einem Brief, den ein ehemaliger SS-Offizier 1947 an einen Freund schrieb, während er auf seinen Prozess wartete. Der Mann, dessen Name aus rechtlichen Gründen geschwärzt ist, war 1943 Teil der Einheit, die Kunstwerke in Schloss Wolfsheim lagerte. Er schrieb: »Ich habe Dinge gesehen während des Krieges, die kein Mensch sehen sollte. Ich habe an Orten gedient, die mich für immer gezeichnet haben. Aber nichts, absolut nichts, war wie jene 3 Wochen in Wolfsheim. Wir hörten sie jede Nacht. Alle hörten sie. Schritte in leeren Korridoren, Flüstern in den Wänden und die Kälte in jenem einen Raum, dem Raum mit dem Altar. Es war, als würde die Temperatur dort die Gesetze der Physik brechen. 2 Männer aus meiner Einheit verschwanden. Einfach verschwanden. Wir fanden sie 3 Tage später im Wald, ledend, aber unfähig zu erklären, wie sie dorthin gekommen waren. Sie wurden als desertiert unterworfen, aber ich weiß es besser. Wolfsheim lässt niemanden gehen.« Das Bayerische Hauptstaatsarchiv bewahrt bis heute 47 Aktenkisten mit Material zum Fall Rottenburg auf. Die meisten sind für die öffentliche Einsicht freigegeben, doch 3 Kisten bleiben klassifiziert, aus Gründen, die nie offiziell erklärt wurden. Anfragen von Forschern wurden wiederholt abgelehnt. Ein Archivar, der anonym bleiben möchte, erklärte 2015 in einem Interview: Es gibt bestimmte Fälle, bei denen die Entscheidung getroffen wurde, dass die Öffentlichkeit keinen Nutzen aus vollständiger Transparenz ziehen würde. Das Fall Rottenburg ist einer davon. Ich kann nicht mehr sagen, außer dass die Dokumente in diesen Kisten Fragen aufwerfen würden, die niemand beantworten kann. Was geschah wirklich in jener Nacht vom 17. auf den 18. Januar 1919? War es, wie Dr. Hofmann argumentiert, die tragische Konsequenz eines vom Krieg gebrochenen Mannes, der seine Familie in einen gemeinsamen Wahn zog? Oder spielten andere Faktoren eine Rolle? Faktoren, die sich der historischen Analyse entziehen? Die Schuld, die Baron Maximilian in seinen letzten Notizen erwähnte, war sie real oder eingebildet?
If this video
has opened your eyes to the truth they've been hiding. Subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another revelation. Share this video with everyone you know. Leave a comment telling me what you think about Tesla's confiscated documents. And most importantly, don't stop asking questions. Don't stop demanding answers, because the moment we stop searching for truth is the moment they win. And we're not going to let them win. Not this time. Tesla's legacy will not die in a government vault. His technology will be freed, and humanity will finally claim the future he envisioned for us. A future of unlimited clean energy. A future of abundance for everyone. A future where knowledge isn't hoarded by the powerful, but shared freely with all of humanity. That's the future Tesla wanted, and that's the future we're going to build.